またお前に手出ししてくんじゃねえの？
怖いけどかっこいいよね。
そうか。
One day a boy accidentally kisses a girl and realizes that he has the power to switch bodies with people after kissing them. Hello and welcome back to our channel Ice Guy. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. When Ryu Yamada shares an accidental kiss with Urara Shiraishi, the two end up in a bizarre body swap. They quickly learn there are more weird things happening at Suzaku High. Episode 1. The episode beings introducing the main character. Yamada is told not to skip class, and basically that he sleeps in class when he shows up. His grades are slipping, and before long the honor student, Shiraishi, shows up. The teacher tells Yamada to be more like her. He then confronts her on the stairway before the two fall and Yamada becomes unconscious. When Yamada finally wakes up, he finds himself in Shiraishi's body. He panics and is unsure what to do. Naturally, he goes to try to find his own body, which he does while Shiraishi isn't sitting in class and being the typical honor student that she is. He drags her to the roof where he begins to question why they switched bodies. Shiraishi does not care for the moment and just wants to go through the rest of the school day normally. She also does not want to deal with going to the bathroom again as a man. As the day passes, Yamada decides to fool around with Shiraishi's body, checking her out, acting weird around people, and whatnot. Lunchtime soon comes and some classmates wish to eat lunch with her. There it is discovered that Shiraishi is bullied. After dealing with it for a little while, Yamada confronts Shiraishi about it, and she just wants him to stay out of it and do nothing about it or he would make it worse than it already is. After questioning if they will ever turn back, Shiraishi mentions that they did kiss on the first ball and have not done so since. She leans forward to kiss Yamada to see if that was the cause, which it was. A short amount of time passes and one of the girls talks about how she spotted her talking to Yamada since no one knows they switched body. Yamada is annoyed and goes to hit her only to have Shiraishi take the hit. After talking about it a bit more, the two decide it is best to try to reenact the event that happened earlier with them falling down the stairs causing their bodies to switch. They try once and fail, only to try several more times and continue to fail. A few days pass and they kissed again to see if they could still switch body, which they could. They also needed to since Shiraishi was going to take the supplementary exams for him so he could pass his class. While she was taking the exams and Yamada was back in her body, he is confronted by Moyamura, who stated that they had a date today. It is not before long that one, Yamada finds out Moyamura is a total wimp, and two, he just wanted to see if what he thought was true is that Yamada and Shiraishi switched bodies. With the fact that they discovered Yamada has the ability to switch body, they formed the club to keep it a secret knowledge that they would not want this information out. This is mostly due to Shiraishi taking exams for Yamada. The episode ends with who I know is another female main character, Ito, showing up.
いいのかよ、白石。
活動ってなんだか。
Episode 2. A new girl shows up wanting to join the Supernatural Studies Club. The girl is Miyabi Ito, and she likes the supernatural. She wants to join. She even tries to prove that she can bend a spoon with her mind, which ultimately results in her bending the spoon with her strength. Eventually, after just joining, she runs off only to come back with a lot of cleaning supplies. While she cleans the club room, she tasks Yamada with taking out the trash as well as a few other things. This is when Yamada finds out he has to take a supplementary test, which makes him need to switch with Shiraishi, of course. Doing this is proven difficult, with Ito showing up constantly asking Yamada to get something for her to clean the room with. When Yamada hears about this and freaks out naturally, he goes to check on Shiraishi to see if she is alright. She is back to being alone, which annoys him. Because of this, he goes to confront Ito in the club room. When this happens and Ito decides not to tell everyone that she lied and spread the rumor, Yamada kisses her to switch bodies only to quickly knock her out. Since she caught them and did not like what she saw, she went into getting revenge. For starters, she does not know the fact that Yamada can switch bodies, so she spreads the rumor that Yamada and Shiraishi are in Ito. When Yamada hears about this and freaks out naturally, he goes to check on Shiraishi to see if she is alright. She is back to being alone, which annoys him. Because of this, he goes to confront Ito in the club room. When this happens and Ito decides not to tell everyone that she lied and spread the rumor, Yamada kisses her to switch bodies only to quickly knock her out. Yamada, for starters now in a new girl's body, starts by checking her out. He then focuses on the problem at hand and goes around telling people that it was a lie. After telling people, he gets a similar response that no one believed the rumor to begin with. Ultimately, he is told that no one ever believes Ito's rumors. After this happens and Yamada contemplates if it was even worth it to switch body, he gets to the club room only to find out his body is not there. To top it off, Ito goes around the school doing random things like superhero possess and shouting final attack names. It is later revealed that she went to go and confront the people who scammed her out of money for some supernatural artifact. Yamada makes it to the scene only to see Ito in Yamada's body beaten up. Yamada beats up the scam artist, and the two go back to the club room. Ito goes to leave, only Yamada tells her she has to be part of the club since she knows the secret of switching bodies. With that testing, the powers go into effect. From the bodies get switched left and right to see exactly what can happen and how many times it can happen.
驚いってことは
Yamada.
Episode 3. Ito and her joining the Supernatural Studies Club. Everything seems normal. That is until they find out that the club does not have a budget. Ito says they could get things that permute the club, or even a television. Then Yamada gets the idea to get a microwave to heat his food so he will no longer need to eat cold food. This is agreed on, and thus they need to raise the budget and ask the student council president to do it. The only problem is that he does not give guys the time of day, and thus body switching occurs. Before long, Yamada is then known by the council president that he switches bodies since he is not like a woman despite looking like one on the outside. The president agrees to raise the budget on the condition that Yamada gets Shiraishi to go to college.
遅いわね。何を実に憂慮すべきことだ。
Or at least says that she will. She is the school's top student, and the fact she does not want to go to college looks bad for the school. At the same time, it is known that whoever gets Shiraishi to go to college will look go in the president's eyes, since someone else is aiming for the position. Yamada still wants the microwave and wants to try again. The following day, Shiraishi asks to switch bodies with Yamada. They do, and Yamada wakes up only to find out that the body he switched into has a cold. He is then told to go home, and in Shirashi's body, so Shirashi's home. He and his friends search the room. Yamada finds an old photograph of Shirashi where she looked lonely. Eventually, the two meet again and talk. Yamada says that ever since they met he has enjoyed school and is even thinking of going to college. He asks Shirashi if she will go to college with him, and she says yes. Episode 4. The episode starts with Yamada and the others going on a school camping trip. Shiraishi and Yamada switched before they got on the bus. Yamada had to deal with talking to Shirashi's friends and whatnot, who turned out to be super hyper. There is also the fact that they brought up how she would only go if Yamada was allowed to be part of their group. Then when Yamada looks back to look at Shiraishi, who then gets motion sickness, the opening begins. Yamada does not get a chance after that to switch body, on account for once they get to the place their class is staying at, Shirashi wants to rest, and there is no private place for them. So Yamada goes and gets dragged along all day. When he gets back, and since he cannot find Shirashi, he gets fed up and heads back to the room, once realizing that the hyper girls would not let him sleep. He exchanges a few words with Shiraishi, and they too go on their way. Yamada is later confronted when looking for something to eat by the student council vice president, Ninagiri. She blackmails him for what he did in the previous episode that got Miyamura in the good graces of the student council president. She blackmails him with pictures of him going into Shirashi's room looking through her things. She does not know that the one in Yamada's body is Shiraishi. Yamada dismisses it at first since it was just looking like he was putting away a book for her. That is until Nin shows a picture of Yamada looking at Shiraishi's panting. Yamada talks to the others in the club about this before ultimately deciding on the obvious, which is to kiss Nin and switch bodies so he can delete the evidence. This ultimately backfires when after they do kiss he cannot switch bodies for whatever reason. He tells the others, who then kiss him to double check, and he lost his ability to switch bodies. A few days passed, and back at school, it turns out that Miyamura and Ito both somehow have fallen in love with Yamada. Chaos ensues, and ultimately he kisses the two again, which turns them back to normal. They talk about it and joke about how Yamada now kisses every girl in the school, and the fact his body switching ability just became a charm ability. The episode ends with Yamada going to confront Nin only to run into Shiraishi instead. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more summaries like this, consider subscribing to our channel.